The crown between us. In the heart of an African kingdom, surrounded by golden trees and rivers that dance with light, there lived a great king named Jalil. His mansion stood tall on a royal hill, glimmering with wealth and tradition. He had 2 wives and 2 daughters, Princess Zora, the daughter of his first queen, and Princess Amy, born of his second. The royal family lived in peace. Every morning, laughter echoed through the palace halls. Zora and Amy, both 19 and graceful, shared the same bloodline, though raised by different mothers. They played in the garden, dined together, and danced under the stars. King Jalil was proud of his daughters and loved them dearly. His dream was to one day crown one of them queen, not just by title, but by virtue. But peace can stir jealousy. The first queen, Zora's mother, had always believed that her daughter alone deserved the throne. She carried this pride like a crown of thorns. And in the shadows of this envy, she invited a maid from a neighboring kingdom, a quiet woman with deadly plans. That maid was not just any servant. She had come with poison in her basket and revenge in her heart. One sunny afternoon, while Princess Amy was in the garden watering flowers, birds flying over her head and sunlight touching her afro hair, the maid slipped into the royal kitchen. She mixed a slow, silent poison into the royal stew, and that night, as the family gathered around the golden dining table to eat, everyone except Amy fell ill. By morning, the palace was filled with silence. The king, the first queen, the second queen, and Zora, all unconscious, lying pale and still. Amy returned from the garden with joy in her eyes, only to find her family lying like fallen trees. And when she cried for help, the maid was gone, vanished like a shadow. Amy screamed. She wept. She held her father's cold hands and shook his shoulder, calling out his name. But King Jalil was gone. The news spread like wildfire. The kingdom mourned. Drums of sorrow beat from hill to hill. Villagers covered their heads in ash and cloth. Elders cried in circles, and children looked confused as the skies wept rain for days. Amy stood alone. And yet, from the ashes of grief, she rose. One by one, the villagers came to her, kneeling, begging, "You are the only one left, our light, our daughter. We need justice. We need a leader." Amy dried her tears and looked up at the mountains. "Justice," she said. "We will bring it with fire if we must." She gathered soldiers, young and old. The drums changed from mourning to war. Amy dressed in iron. Her afro stood proud. She looked like a goddess of fire, marching not just with weapons, but with truth. The neighboring kingdom, where the maid had come from, was laughing, celebrating the royal fall. But Amy marched there with her people. A fierce battle erupted, spears clashing, arrows flying, and Amy standing tall at the front line, her face lit by fire and fury. She fought not as a princess, but as a warrior. In the end, the neighboring king was captured, the maid brought to justice, and peace restored. Amy, standing at the gates of her village, looked up at the sky and whispered, "Father, I have made you proud." She returned not just as a survivor, but as a savior. On a golden morning, as the villagers danced in colorful wrappers and elders sang songs of old, Amy was crowned queen. At the very spot where her father once ruled, the chief priest placed the crown upon her head. The people cheered. Children danced. Drummers beat until their hands were sore. The palace shimmered in luxury, but it was Amy's glow that outshone all riches. She wore a dazzling royal dress. Her hair was styled high like a crown of its own. Jewels glittered on her neck, and wisdom sparkled in her eyes. Amy had walked through fire and come out gold. She smiled at the crowd, then raised her hands and said, "A true queen is not chosen by blood alone, but by heart, by courage, and by truth." And from that day forward, she ruled with strength, grace, and love. The kingdom healed, united as one, forever remembering the story of the princess who became queen, not by fortune, but by fate. Message to the world. Let this story remind us all. Royalty is not about being born in a palace. It's about rising from pain, standing for truth, and serving with love. No matter how dark the night, the crown belongs to the one who brings the dawn. To every young girl who feels forgotten, you are more powerful than you know. Like Queen Amy, the world may test you, but your light will never go out. The end. Crown Sparkles Globe Show in Europe, Africa.